All right, so this was a fun composition that I put together pretty recently. I'm going to include this available for download. You can use it royalty free in your videos, in your games, or wherever you like. Um, so let's go ahead and just jump in and take a look at this. So just kind of going through it, see how I break it apart. So it starts out with, I'm just going to solo this bass here, which is pretty neat. So for that, I use repro, and you can hear that here. You can get some pretty cool effects from it. Let's just mess around with it. You want something like dark. Then I just added some groove delay. I think I added a groove delay to that. I did, but I must have pulled it off. So anyway, it's just layering and stacking it up. Then another synth here. Really nice pad. Just 2 notes, nothing special, but then you mix that together and it's only okay, just repeated it once more to kind of draw you in. So I have these bells here, so these are pretty cool. This comes with Studio One. It's the Mai Tai. They have a lot of cool instruments in here, but let's go and check this one out. So if we just look at that, I think so. I have two inserts here. So the first one is a groove delay, and I'll just solo that and show you what it sounds like. See, on its own, it doesn't sound, give it that eeriness. So when you, in this case, add a groove delay or something similar, and it gives it that creepy, like, depending on what you're going for, but in my case it worked. It's like creepy stuff. So and then I added open air here, and this is cool. So this comes with Studio 1.3. I think actually probably all the Studio ones. But let's see. So in here, I use the wide ambience chamber, and then so mixed. Kind of just adds a little more of that reverb. It's great. So that's some great stuff. So I use this a lot. Has a lot of convolution, a lot of great convolution reverb. IRs that are actually already preloaded into this. So let's go ahead and continue this. So just drilling down. So Drum Lab, I think for this one, initially I was starting out with one of the grooves that were already in here, and then I think what I did is I just went in and remade it. I wanted something more simple to start out with, so let's see, let's go to the kit page. So this is kind of cool. And again, for this piece, dropped the groove delay into there, and then did I compress it? I compressed it with something that I bought especially for this composition. Just messing around trying to find something that would give it, that nice compression and dirtiness. And I found a satin tape machine, which I actually like a lot of the UHE products. I enjoy them, so this worked out pretty well. So let's go in here with it and without it. Just kind of sew this guy, loop it. Kind of low, but all you need. So let's see. I'm gonna take this and I'm actually doing some audio or volume automation here. So let's go. And, oh, it's already loud. Not that noticeable for this, but in other places it works really well. And this, when all the drums actually start going, you'll hear it a lot more. So let's take a look at that. See if I got it right here. More noticeable there. So let's see. Let's go in there. So continuing this solo, and then for this guy, let's see what we got here. So a nice drone sound. I thought you could probably just get that from a synth. It probably is a synth at the end of the day, but whatever. I pulled it from VSTs that I had. And it works. So let's see. So rise and hit, I use this a lot. There's a great VST. It has a lot of rise and hits, rises and hits. In this case, let's see, I use the deep drums too. Some more, as you can hear, not much going on there. Then we get into let's see what we got going on here. The walkers are coming. What a cool effect. You can do a lot more with that than what I've used it for. repeat, and I do get into something. Solo this. So that is actually that sound. Nothing really that special. But then I use the auto filter. So again, something that comes with the PreSonus Studio one. I think this is new actually in 3. This is cool. Computer talk. I think this may be the default settings. I may have tweaked it a bit, but you could always play with it. Get a different sound, your own sound from it. So let's hear that. Here's something from Blue Zone. So I'd purchased these effects in the past for a game that I was developing. One day I'll actually, get back to it, but I always have a lot of things going on. So I just kind of use this as like a build up. So let's go. Kind of a cool like texture drone like texture effect. So this is provided by Blue Zone. I guess what I can do is I'll provide a link. See this if you want to purchase it for your own stuff. I just use it in this composition. I figured that would be make good use of it since it was kind of just sitting there doing nothing. Layering is what you want to do. Just layer on top of layer. Build stuff out, experiment. Don't ever get stuck, reusing the same thing over and over. Just because you're comfortable doing it. Then we also have so you got some footsteps going on, and what I tried to do is with these footsteps, tried to link them with so they fall, on the same during the same time. I think our main kick. Yeah, I think it's the main kick falls. So then I added some additional Blue Zone sound effects here. So some lasers. So kind of mixed in with the music. In my case, I was trying to use them, kind of like percussions in a way. And blend them in with the music. So, and then I left and right panned them. So, left and right pan. It gives it that. And again, just repeat that. Nothing that special. Same thing with the bells. I repeat those. Let's see. So we kind of go on through, and then we get to a point where we have this. And this is chip sound, really cool VST. In this case, I'm using the SN double art. I really just do it to build it out, but then I also add these here, and let's see. So just kind of building it out, and then that same rise and hit, or a different one, but let's hear it all together. If you listen closely, you can hear all of it. So that's cool. When you use like the groove delay and you have a lot of instruments that have reverb and groove or delay going on, you hear that carry over into when you shut everything out, when you kind of just cut everything, which is cool. A little effect there. So wrong instrument. Let's see what we got. There's another Heaviosity Evolve. It's the Psycho Hyro. It's just a cool sound to throw in the background. I don't know if I don't do anything to it. I just leave it like that. It sounds pretty good. And then let's see. So I just add, I think this is a bass. Almost sounds like a cross between a bass or a lead. Bass and a lead. So just a couple notes going on there. I'm gonna just repeat. We got this drone here. The drone. Oh, spaceship alarm. Kind of sounds like a drone. Which is cool. And that carries over into this, and I think this is like the main thing. So this is what carries this, probably this whole loop right here, which is this. So if I go to this, there's some automation. I do have to lower the volume and raise the volume because I have it on a repeat, like a delay that just keeps looping infinitely, and if you don't do something, you just continuously hear it. What's cool about this is there's only like several notes there. And so originally, I think this is a synth one instrument, which synth is pretty amazing. Do a lot with it, get a lot from it, and it's totally free. So, and a lot of people have created a lot of instruments for it, or settings, I guess, to choose from. So you can see, I mean, there's just a ton. So what I did here was, I think the original sound is, if I go to it, so it's got a nice sound to it. And what's cool is you can actually achieve a lot with the Satin VST. Definitely worth a purchase. Do a lot of great things with it. So I had another synth, synth one. for that. Yeah, so I added a satin on that as well, the peanut butter and the groove delay. So let's go and just hear that. So this is what it normally sounds like, as if you had the satin, instant delay. And then you add another groove delay on top of that, which is a longer delay. It's more spaced out. Just going to go over these guys really quick. So this is the Percussion Studio drum kit, and then for this I do some automation, and I do automation on on the red light district. So I'm actually dropping the mix down, so this makes it sound like it's in a radio, old radio. Here how it gets closer, so I start dropping that mix down. And then once it builds, once it drops all the way out, then I actually cut it and then start into my next loop here, or section. So let's see what else we got. So these guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of the automation. Easter Island Hits from Albion. Actually use this for a lot of stuff. Be basic. And then let's see. So these you would never even know they're in the mix, but since I soloed them out, you could probably actually hear them now. Just add additional things that makes sense anyways and sound good in the mix. You can barely hear it, but when you do hear it, it's like that metal clank sound, and it's kind of cool. Adds to the eeriness. Let's see, and then here so you can see the velocity, I'm just kind of going up, and I'm not going up that high, but these are the metal menu still. I'm kind of just building it all out. So let's hear and see what that all sounds like. So again, this just repeats. It's mostly the the same stuff from over here. So the only thing I do, I think, right in the beginning, I add that to kind of drive into it. Same drum loop. The only thing I actually change here is I go into a different drum pattern. So kind of just mix it up before I close it out. So the way I do that is I actually have Reactor, I have the finger on there, and I just have it set to loop devices. I may have tweaked it a little bit. And then I created a MIDI track over here. So you just go add instrument track. And then I just reference that, the finger, and the drop down. So now I can control it here. out and I same thing, it's the blue zone shutdown. I'll include a link to where you can actually purchase that here. I have a bunch of sound effects, pretty cool. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to post them below or send to me personally. Thanks.